Joining me now to talk about the complex U.S.-Israel relationship is Matt Brodsky, Policy Director of the Jewish Policy Center. He's joining us from Phoenix, Arizona. First, Matt, let me ask about this coalition. How do you see it coming together, and do you see it changing in terms of the relationship between the U.S. and Israel in any way?
A lot of it depends on what kind of coalition Netanyahu puts together. In a sense, the election is now over, but now the real horse trading begins, and that is for what coalition he is going to build. The surprise of this election is that there was the rise of a party to Likud in Netanyahu's right, and then a rise of a party to his left. And which way he goes is going to make a big difference. If he goes to the left and he decides to take Yesh Atid, which is Lapid's centrist group, it will make it a lot easier to have a broad-based coalition, and that would be more palatable to the United States and the Obama administration. Were he to choose to go with the right-leaning coalition, which he could do right now, there's 61 seats, which would be a majority for the Knesset, which is 120-seat members. He would be able to do that pretty quickly, but that doesn't seem to be the way he would like to go. In the meantime, he's preserved a lot of room for maneuver, and he does have a lot of negotiating cards in his hand.
Well, Nina Donaghy pointed out that there's a rather frosty relationship between the U.S. President Obama, and Netanyahu. And then, of course, I think this may have been exacerbated by the nomination recently of Chuck Hagel to be the defense secretary. Did that have any kind of, or will it have any kind of impact should he be approved?
It's not just Chuck Hagel, it's also John Brennan and John Kerry. It's a slew of nominations that are people who have flunked the Syria test, which is to say they've been on the wrong side of Syria, assuming that Assad was a reformer. They have that wrong. They have the approach to Iran, even going against what Obama himself has been saying, which is to say they do not favor really strong sanctions or the use of military force if that needs to come to pass. So everything that Obama has been doing as far as his own nomination process has been sending a signal to not just Israel, but to Jordan and to other Middle East allies of the United States that the United States doesn't really plan to have a sincere red line when it comes to Iran's nuclear program. You don't even need to look further than the red line with Syria for chemical weapons being used. That was called a red line, but chemical weapons we know now have been used, and mum's the word from Washington. These are all bad signals for Israel to be receiving and for our allies in the Middle East.
Matt Brodsky joining us from Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for your insights. Appreciate it.